Breaking news, y'all. Grab your popcorn, grab your wigs, and somebody hide the DNA kits because the streets are on fire. Yes, you heard me right. Love and hip-hop's very own Bambi has officially gone from reality star to reality street fighter after coming for the one woman in America who treats privacy like it's an expired coupon. Tasha K. And why, oh? Just your casual viral DNA bombshell that dropped harder than Beyonce tickets at 3 a.m. Tasha didn't just spill tea, she emptied the whole kettle, lit the stove on high, and poured it directly onto Bambi's reputation. Now, I know what you're thinking, but isn't Tasha K always in somebody's business? Yes, she is. But this time, sis may have crossed the Rubicon, jumped the shark, and did a double backflip into the Petty Olympics, witnesses say. Bambi stormed down those VH1 backstage halls like a woman possessed, heels clicking like a countdown to disaster, eyes locked on her target, and security already whispering, not again. But here's a real question, was this just another messy reality TV moment, or the opening shot? In an all-out social media war that's about to destroy careers, buckle up, this one's nuclear. Alright, let's get into it because the streets have been on fire ever since this went down, and I'm here to give you the full uncut version that nobody else will dare to tell you. Bambi, the longtime love and hip-hop star, and Tasha K, the self-proclaimed queen of online receipts, have been orbiting each other's worlds for years, throwing side comments, liking shady posts, and pretending to be unbothered, but in reality storing up enough mutual resentment to power a small city. This was not a sudden explosion, it was a slow burn that finally reached the gas tank and blew the whole thing sky high, according to someone who was actually backstage at VH1 that day, and I'm talking about a credible source whose cousin's best friend works as a makeup assistant. Bambi arrived already tense because earlier that morning, Tasha K had gone live with what she claimed was a DNA report that could change the way the entire fanbase looked at Bambi forever. It was not a vague hint. It was not a subtle suggestion. It was an all-out flashing neon sign pointing straight at a paternity bombshell, and the father in question was not who the public believed. The paper allegedly confirmed that Scrappy, the man who stood by Bambi through years of public drama, was not the biological father of her child, and Tasha K did not just present this information quietly. She treated it like a headline at a scandal convention, complete with bold font circles and dramatic pauses for effect. The internet went into immediate meltdown, comments pouring in within minutes, people digging up old interviews, piecing together timelines, and swearing they always knew something was off. Brands started untagging Bambi from their posts within hours, and while her phone was blowing up with calls from PR reps begging her to go silent, she was sitting in that dressing room with her chest tight and her mind racing. Tasha K had a reputation for being ruthless, but this felt personal. Bambi's pride was shredded and her image was bleeding out in real time. That is when she made the decision to confront her head-on. Now imagine the VH1 backstage hallway, the lights buzzing overhead, crew members hustling around, pretending not to notice the growing tension in the air. Bambi steps out of her dressing room, heels hitting the floor like a countdown, every stride faster and sharper until she bursts into the green room where Tasha K is standing mid-conversation, with a producer laughing like she had not just turned another woman's life into a viral spectacle. The door slammed open so hard that the chatter stopped, and every pair of eyes turned toward the collision course about to unfold. Bambi walked straight up to her, voice already shaking but laced with venom, accusing her of destroying lives for sport. Tasha K did not flinch. She looked her up and down like she was scanning for weaknesses, and then delivered the kind of one-liner that reality TV editors live for, saying she did not ruin lives, she just revealed the truth. And if a life got ruined, maybe it was built on lies in the first place. The room gasped. Someone started whispering into a headset, and a few people instinctively pulled out their phones to capture what they knew would end up on every blog within the hour. Bambi's chest was heaving. She took another step forward, her voice dropping low, as she told Tasha she had no right to put that report out without giving her a chance to explain. And Tasha fired back that the same facts Bambi tried to bury were now out in the open and catching up with her. The words were slicing through the air, each one sharpening the other, until Bambi lunged forward, getting inches from Tasha's face before security rushed in to separate them. Spice appeared at the doorway, pulled by the commotion, and immediately tried to pull Bambi back, warning her not to give them more ammunition. But Bambi was past reasoning. She was shaking, tears in her eyes, shouting that Tasha had ruined her life for clicks and views, while Tasha stood there, calm, arms crossed, saying she had simply given Scrappy and the public the truth. By this point, cameras were rolling, the production team was swarming, and the fight was already halfway to Instagram without a single episode having aired. Spice finally managed to pull Bambi into the hallway, but not before Bambi turned back one last time to yell that if she went down, she would take Tasha with her, and the door slammed shut, leaving the green room buzzing with whispers. The hallway was still vibrating with the echoes of Bambi's voice. As security closed the green room door behind her and Spice kept a firm grip on her arm, trying to keep her from charging back in, but the damage was already done because word was spreading like wildfire through the set and phones were buzzing with leaked clips. Before anyone could officially contain it, inside the green room Tasha K calmly took a sip of her water, as if she had not just been face to face with someone ready to swing, and the producers around her were already calculating how to spin this into ratings gold. Meanwhile, Bambi was slumped against the wall outside her dressing room, breathing hard, makeup smudged and hair slightly out of place, while Spice knelt beside her telling her to breathe and think before making her next move. But Bambi's mind was racing faster than any advice could reach. Her career was flashing in front of her eyes. The followers she had built, the brands that had trusted her, the life she had tried to present as perfect, all of it now unraveling thread by thread. In front of millions of strangers, she knew Tasha had just won the first round in public perception. And that thought made her stomach turn because it meant she had to find a way to fight back, but not with fists and shouting this time. The next morning, the internet was on fire with headlines about the backstage blow-up, and multiple blogs ran different angles of the same leaked footage showing Bambi screaming while Tasha stood calm and unshaken, and the comments were split between calling Tasha ruthless and praising her for telling the truth, while others dragged Bambi for keeping secrets and playing the victim. Bambi sat in her apartment scrolling through it all, her phone buzzing non-stop, her PR team telling her to disappear for a while, her manager suggesting a carefully worded statement, but every piece of advice felt useless because she could not shake the image of Tasha owning the narrative completely. Then came a silence from Scrappy. No posts, no calls, no messages, nothing from the man whose opinion mattered more than all the strangers combined, and that silence was almost worse than the public humiliation because it told her everything she needed to know about where she stood. She barely slept, and when she did, it was fitful dreams of social media feeds swallowing her whole. The following day, Spice showed up at her door unannounced, telling her she could not just sit there and let Tasha have the final word, that she needed to flip the script and tell her side before it was too late. At first, Bambi resisted, saying everyone already saw her as a liar and a manipulator, and that nothing she could say would change their minds. But then something shifted in her tone as she hinted she had information on Tasha that the public did not know, and if Tasha wanted to play dirty, she could match her energy. 15 minutes later, Bambi was live on Instagram, her face bare, eyes puffy, but her voice steady as she told her audience she did not lie to hurt anyone, but because she did not trust anyone with the truth, and that Tasha K had taken something deeply personal and turned it into content for views. Then she began showing screenshots and messages allegedly from Tasha herself, asking for exclusive interviews and promising to protect her if she cooperated, and according to Bambi, when she refused, that was when Tasha went after her. The comments section exploded with people demanding Tasha respond, and across town in her own studio, Tasha watched the live with narrowed eyes, her phone lighting up with notifications. Within hours, Tasha released her own video addressing the claims head-on, admitting she had asked for an interview but saying she never chased a story for revenge, only for the truth, and that if Bambi wanted a public war, she was ready because she never missed. And she had archives the internet could barely keep up as both women trended and reaction videos popped up by the minute. Mama D even jumped into the fray, going live with champagne in hand, declaring her son free and done with second chances for Bambi, while bloggers speculated about whether VH1 would even keep Bambi on the main cast, and leaked rumors from production claimed no one wanted to film with her anymore because every scene became a war zone. By the end of the week, Tasha had posted one final mic drop video, walking viewers through the entire saga and ending with a smirk, saying she was moving on to the next scandal, while Bambi had all but vanished from public view except for one dimly lit live stream where she admitted she had messed up and lost almost everything but was still human before logging off without saying when she would return. Asterisk. So here we are after days of chaos, leaked footage, whispered alliances, and enough digital bloodshed to keep the blogs fed for months, and yet the question still hangs in the air. Who really won in this showdown? Was it Tasha K with her unapologetic mic drops and iron grip on the narrative, or was it Bambi with her late but emotional counterpunch that had even some of her harshest critics pausing before hitting send on their comments? And what about Scrappy's silence? Is it loyalty to the truth or the ultimate betrayal wrapped in quiet distance? This is the part where I turn it over to you, because these stories live or die on what the people decide. So I need you to drop your verdict in the comments. Was Tasha justified in exposing the alleged DNA report, or did she cross the line into pure malice? Did Bambi deserve the backlash, or was she a victim of a ruthless media machine? And most importantly, whose side are you on right now? While the dust is still settling, hit that like button if you want more of these deep dive exposes. Subscribe so you don't miss the next jaw dropper. and share this before it disappears. But what do you think? Is this karma finally coming to collect, or just another case of the internet blowing up a messy personal fight into a full-blown public execution? Could Rashida be playing a long game for freedom and financial justice, or is she just letting the chaos burn itself out while she walks away untouched? Drop your thoughts or theories and your hottest takes in the comments, because this conversation is only getting started, and if you want to keep getting the real, unfiltered breakdowns before the headlines twist them, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications now.